I'd like to introduce ourselves. I'm Noel, Crum, the Innovation Coordinator in Johnson County. We have Robin Hayden, teacher at Central Elementary, and Misty Ward, Assistant Principal at Central Elementary. And first thing I'd like to do, I'd just like to echo what Vivian said at the beginning. The biggest takeaway personally for me, and I think that's impacted our district, is the collaboration. It was the missing piece when you look at really the work we see here today across the board in being able to share strategies among our districts, when before I feel like we were very isolated. So I think that that's the huge plus, and I think that the Appalachian Leadership Lab really focuses in on that, on being able to be specific in ways that we can try to improve strategies in our schools. So our focus, as you see there, is looking at shared leadership and trying to bring that down to the student level. And I just want to say that in our district we feel like that leadership has been a focus, and probably the primary reason for our success as a school district is that we have worked hard to try to promote and grow leadership. And one of the things that we are doing now under our current superintendent, Tom Salyer, is a leadership cadre where we're trying to grow our own leadership capacity from our teachers into become future administrators or just teacher leaders within their schools. And so from there we have now moved towards this focus of trying to build student leadership capacity. And so I want to turn this over to Robin, and she'll explain a little more about where that's taken off.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. Like he said, my name is Robin Hayden. And this summer, whenever we were looking at what we could work on for our project, we actually had a very good idea, because we had two schools in our region, in our district, that actually merged this summer. I taught at Meade Memorial I was there for 9 years, and we recently merged this summer with Central Elementary. And so we thought, how can we bring together two different schools that has two completely different climates, two completely different styles of leading, styles of learning, and merge those into be one successful school. So what we had talked about as a district is we need to work on our school climate, and we need to build leaders within our school. We want each one of our schools, each one of our students, not just from Central or not just from Meade, we want them to feel like they are a part of one school, that is their school. So what we worked on was building student leadership. So what we have decided to do as a team is we are doing a book study of the 7 Habits of Happy Kids, which is from the Leader in Me program. We've got a couple of other schools in our district who are already Leader in Me schools, and that program has proven to be pretty successful within that school. So we thought about implementing that into ours to see how that would work. Now, as you can see on your little brochure that we've handed out, we've already started implementing that in the 4th grade. This year, this past 9 weeks, we was actually really proud of our 4th grade students. They actually led their own conferences. So whenever it was student-teacher conference time, the teachers kind of just circulated the room as the students had their own data notebooks, and they were talking with their parents. They were talking about, well, at the beginning of the year I have this star score, but now I have this star score. I have this many accelerated reader points, and I'm supposed to have this many accelerated reader points. So it puts that responsibility back onto the student, and so whenever parents say, well, why don't you have your AR goal met? Then it's the student's responsibility to say, well, maybe I just didn't read as much as what I should have. So what you have on your little brochure, this is a QR code, and it's linked to a little video that we created that actually shows how our students implemented that parent-teacher conferences, and it was really great. And we had tons of parents that came back with feedback that was like, I'm really proud to see that my child has stepped up into the leadership role, and they're taking responsibility, for their own work and for their own actions. So that was something that we was really pleased with within our school.
And like Robin and Mr. Crum said, my name is Misty Ward. I'm the assistant principal. I came in late to the game. I was just a couple of weeks before the person who had already served as the school leader for this project took a position as head principal at a different school. And so when I was invited in to be part of this project, I brought a different experience to the table. I had been at Highland Elementary the previous year, which was already a Leader in Me school, very successful. And so I was able to share with them my experience there because I was very skeptical. I came from the high school situation where it seemed very cartoonish to me, and so I didn't really embrace it right off. But what I saw was when I realized it became a fabric of the school. And it wasn't as if you would walk into this school and you would or into this classroom and you would have a discipline model going on, and then you would go to a different grade and they would have a different discipline model going on, or a different leadership model. What happened is the kindergartners were doing the same things that the sixth graders were doing, and they could talk to you very confidently, not only about their classwork and what their teacher expectations were, but what their personal expectations were. One of the things that we did, and I hate to not recognize Mr. Castle, who is a great leader of a great Leader in Me school back there, and a great example to me as an administrator. The kids started to track their own progress, and that's something we've incorporated at Central Elementary, is having the students to track their attendance as well as to track their academic progress. And we have incorporated leadership already from the sixth grade down. We started with our faculty. We created committees which have distributed leadership throughout the school. We have a public relations committee, a climate committee, an RTI committee, and a health and wellness committee, which are really heading up those opportunities in our schools. And then our sixth graders also have those same committees in their classes. They have mirrored the faculty committees. And so we have taken this leadership model and already started to apply it from the sixth grade down to the first and kindergarten. Our first graders have technology leaders. So when they rotate throughout their stations, they have a person that they know is the technology expert in their group. So you don't, the teacher isn't burdened with, let me help you with logins, let me help you find AR. The kids already know how to do that. And then they share that out. When it's their turn to rotate leadership, they train their successor. And so that opportunity is really echoed in everything that we do. We've started with the distributed leadership model at the district. We've taken it from the district to the school, now to our students in the classroom.